What is going on, everybody? It's TG back with another video. Hope you guys are having a great day today. Overall, pretty decent day in the market. China stocks fell a little bit, but they recovered towards the end. We got to talk about some of these Chinese stocks, especially Alibaba. Again, it has been coming up a lot in video topics, but clearly relevant because the stock continues to fall. And today, falling on delisting, potential delisting for Alibaba in the U.S. And I want to talk about that, if it's possible, if it's going to be delisted, and what to do with a stock that just continues to fall and fall and fall. So clearly, it has just been hammered badly. Over $526 billion has been wiped out of its market cap. That is just crazy. That's a crazy amount of money, despite the company doing actually pretty well. If you look at it in the past year, the stock is down 54%, which is just crazy. When you look at that same year, you look at the annual revenue, 717 billion, 150 billion net won, by the way, not US dollars, but still very big year-over-year growth in the revenue side, basically flat on the profits because they are reinvesting heavily into their company. But let's talk about the potential delisting risks. And, companies and news outlets like Bloomberg and some other ones have talked about that it could potentially be delisted because China's own security regulators chimed in saying that a ban on VIEs was not being considered, and it still took a hit because of it. Essentially, owning Alibaba stock, you're not owning the actual stock, you're owning a VIE structure of it, of a holding company in the Cayman Islands. This is well knowledge. Most people who invest in Alibaba know that when you're buying Alibaba stock in the U.S., it's an ADR. You're not actually buying the actual stock. So if I go and buy Apple stock or Amazon stock, I'm actually owning those shares of that company. But when I am owning Alibaba stock, I'm not actually owning shares of the company. I'm owning something that basically says I'm entitled to the profits of that company in a VIE structure. I talked about this in a couple of videos before if you guys want to check it out. But essentially, yeah, that's really about it. You're not actually owning it. In China's, because foreign investors are not allowed to invest into Chinese companies, so this is a way to bypass that. And one of the reasons people think it might get delisted is because under a new law that was recently put into place, called the Holding Foreign Companies Accountable Act. This is accelerating holding foreign companies accountable, which would put additional pressure on China by requiring foreign companies to comply with these audits within 2 consecutive years instead of 3, which would help remove fraudulent and non-compliant companies. We saw this with Luckin Coffee, who was a complete fraud. And so Chinese companies have never been audited by U.S. auditors or neutral auditors. They've been audited by their own, which is why a lot of U.S. investors have gotten scammed, or foreign investors have gotten scammed because of it. They're trying to get rid of this by passing this bill. If the companies don't comply, then they will be removed from the New York Stock Exchange or the U.S. Stock Exchange. So if Alibaba doesn't comply, which hopefully they will, but if they don't, and then they will be delisted based on that particular variable. But one of the other things to talk about is, what happens if a foreign stock gets delisted. You still own the stock, okay? You still own it. You just get it in a different way. So a stock's listing has nothing to do with your ownership rights. Your holdings are still valid. However, you use the ability to trade the stock on the U.S. exchange, New York Stock Exchange, or NASDAQ ticker. Most brokerages do allow over-the-counter trading, and you can buy certain things there, like Volkswagen, for instance, different stuff like that. Some big companies with that, but where it can become really a problem is you're losing a ton of liquidity because of this. If Baba got delisted, first off, the news alone would drop the stock. Second off, there'd be so much less liquidity. Some of these hedge fund managers are not going to be putting their money into that. They want to stick with U.S. securities, which is why it could be a bad thing if they got delisted. So obviously there's risk. There's risk if it gets delisted or not. Personally, I don't think for a while it will be, but it definitely could be, especially with what's going on in China right now. There's a lot of political differences between the U.S. and Chinese government, and bad tensions with China, Taiwan. If China makes a move on Taiwan, again, something bad. But overall, the company is growing in revenue, growing in net income, operating income, down on net GAAP income and adjusted net income and free cash flows. Like, some of these things have gone, but a lot of it's because of reinvesting in the company. And it's just, a question, is the stock worth it? is the stock worth all this risk, all this mental pain that it is dealing with a company like this? I mean, the stock's only up 30% in the past 5 years now. I mean, IPO price, we're almost sitting at when it first opened up. Only up 30% since then, which is just crazy. PE 17. So it's super low, and a lot of people are very frustrated. A lot of people in the Discords are frustrated. So, you guys want to come and chat in the Discord, hop in my Discord. I'd love to chat with you guys. But it's been a brutal month for Alibaba. We had a weird little peak thing where we really ran up in October. We went from like the 130s all the way up like 30-something%. And then we just crashed right back down, another 33%. So people are confused. People are worried. They don't really know what to do. But yeah, I don't know what to tell you guys at this point. I sold my Baba. I'm out for now. It's not worth the headache. It's not worth the stress. There's money to be made in other ways for me. So I am not holding any Baba at the moment. Will I re-enter? Maybe. We'll see. If it keeps dropping, it becomes more and more attractive. But I am also really worried about this Taiwan-China situation. I'm worried about the delisting situation. And I'm worried about just competition, just, taking a lot of what's happening, all like their profits away. Regulatory concerns, crackdowns. I mean, President Xi, there's a million reasons not to invest in this. But obviously I think it's an amazing company. But it's just not an amazing stock. It's very different. And if it wasn't in China, that's a whole different story. I'd put out every single dollar I have and more. I'd take a loan on my house out if I owned a house, and do that. But yeah, man, it's rough. Some of these stocks are down so much right now. But yeah, I just have to see what happens with this at this point. But again, investors are getting frustrated. The people who want to be in this stock have already been in it. They're losing. A lot of people don't have more money to invest in it. So there needs to be outside help, mainly from U.S. hedge funds who just don't want to touch China at all. So I had to cut my losers. I sold in like the 160s, 170, I don't know, something like that. But I couldn't deal with it anymore. I can't deal with that stress. I don't even know what my account would be at this point had I held. So I got out of it and didn't want to take that risk anymore. And thank God I did, because my account would have been just a bloody mess that I wouldn't have been able to recover from. It'd be under 50,000 at least. So yeah, guys, take it from someone that's taken a massive beating in a stock and held on for too long. And luckily, when we had this little run up here, I was able to get out. Obviously, I sold some calls and screwed myself with that in the beginning, but it's one of those things that happens. So I did what I could. I did as best as I could do, and I got out at a pretty not good time. My average price is around 200 and something, but I did what I could do. So it's like a massive $60-something thousand loss, and move on and try to find some other position. But there's a lot of scariness on the horizon for Alibaba and some of these other Chinese stocks, but it doesn't mean this all can't turn around. I mean, we've seen for the past year just straight down. Maybe we get a little gap up again back to 200. Who knows? At this point, I don't know. I mean, we're sitting in the 120s now. It's going to be a lot harder to do that now when it was in 170s. So, yeah, guys, just stay strong. Hope you're doing well. I'm always here to talk to you guys if you need help or anything, and just need someone to talk to and vent. I'm your guy. I'm always here for you guys. So I ask that you just enjoy your day. If you enjoy these videos, subscribe. Means a lot to me. And yeah, I will catch you guys in the next video. So take it easy. Enjoy your day. And yeah, I guess we'll just have to see what happens. Goodbye, everyone.